All right, we are back again with a Reate knife today. I haven't done a Reate in a little bit. This was designed by Kirby Lambert up in Canada. This is the Reate Iron X. A little bit of details about it. Comes with a cool magnetic box. Has a patch in there. And a really cool, I do like this type of pouch because you've got room here for the knife and you've got room here for tools, paperwork, microfiber, just stuff. And it all kind of Velcros together nice and neat. So I like that type of a pouch. So, like I said, this is the Iron X. This was loaned in from Kevin, along with some very nice VC Edge interfaces and a couple other knives. Just a cool guy to loan me some really awesome stuff. This one, typical Reate construction. It's perfect. It's flawless. Runs on ceramic bearings. 3.25-inch blade. So that gives you kind of an idea. It almost feels, for my hands, a little cramped in the handle. It's not. It does stick out, but it almost just feels a little crowded for me. That's going to be personal taste. I also like more of the 3.5+ inch size knives. So for me, I think it's just a size matters thing. What can I tell you? M390 blade, Kirby Lambert design, as I mentioned. Kirby is a Canadian maker. I've done a couple of his customs. I'll see if I can find a link. I don't think I did a playlist for him, but I'll look and I will link a video or two in the corners if I can find them. Because my other buddy, Chris, has sent me a couple of Kirby's customs. And I very much like them. They work great. What's cool about this is kind of a remake of the Reate Iron, which is also Kirby Lambert design. The differences are this has a flipper tab. The Iron does not have a flipper tab. This one has inlays on the lock side where the Iron does not. There's some other subtle differences, but those are your big changes. So let's zoom in here because I want to talk about awesome grind on the blade. This is really what you expect from Reate. This quintessential Reate quality and craftsmanship from a production company. These inlays, basically seamless. Carbon fiber looks really good. It's nice, no voids, no nothing. Just beautiful. The milling is great. Backspacer, very cool. Has a little lanyard tube or a lanyard hole, if you will. Not the most useful because you kind of have to go down, make a U-turn and come back out for your lanyard. And then your lanyard may stick up more. So again, I'm not a big lanyard guy, so it doesn't excite me much. But I like the fact that it's kind of blended in and it's not sticking way out there, being all obvious. On the lock side is where you really get in to the milling craftsmanship. Multiple pockets for multiple pieces and this cutout here for the lock bar. So they've milled the frame itself to accept the inlays, and then they've milled the lock bar to also accept those inlays. And it's just seamless. It's beautiful there. I don't know. I mean, yes, it's done on a CNC. It's computer driven, but like I've talked about before, that doesn't tell the whole story. The CNC is only going to do what you tell it to do. So if you're not good at first designing this, learning how to program all of the dimensions into the computer, making sure that it will work first and does anything hit anything, because the machine is just going to spit out what you tell it. So it's like that garbage in, garbage out. So you kind of need to know what you're doing. Like, not kind of, you need to know what you're doing to run a CNC machine. It's not just hit a few keystrokes and out comes a beautiful knife. That's just not how it works. And I think people discount makers that do use CNC. Now, it's different than hand-built knives. There is a different level of precision, for sure. So I'm not taking anything away from the hand-built knives guys either. Like my good friend Edison over at Sharknivco. This was done with no CNC. And the tolerances are amazing. How the blade just, yeah. And I've done a video on this. You guys have heard me talk about Sharknivco many, many times. Big fan. All done with hand tools, hand mill, hand lathe, no CNC. True craftsman. However, because you can run a CNC doesn't mean you're less of a craftsman. It's different. Edison now does a bunch of CNC work on the Waka knives, that model. This is the Ryu. On his Waka, you get CNC work. So he's kind of bridged from the handmade, hand-tooled, hand-done to the machine-done, if you will. Anyway, I think you get my point. So this thing is 4 1/4 closed and 7 1/2 overall, 3 1/4 inch blade, as I mentioned. M390, weighs in at 4.6 ounces, runs on ceramic bearings. Overall thickness is 0.557 minus the clip. And the clip works fantastic on this one, actually. Like it works great. The thumb stud is kind of a different design. It's angulared and jimped. So they specifically talk about in some of the advertising at the retailers or whatnot that the thumb stud is perfectly designed for finger flicking. Sure, I can actually flick it with my index finger, if that's a thing. And it works well with my middle finger as also, but I hate that method of opening, so I'm not good at it, and I think it's silly. So take that for what it is. Other than that, I think this is a really awesome knife. And yes, it's overseas, and we're not even going to get into that because personally, I don't care. So I'll give a couple of quick size comparisons with the Sharpie, with the Spyderco Delica. Because we pulled it out, how about the handmade, hand-tooled Sharknivco Ryu? Something else from Canada. How about the North Arm Skaha 2? And then something from overseas. How about the Red Horse Knife Works Production Hellraiser? There you go. I think I've covered everything. If you've got questions, let me know down below. Kevin, again, thanks for sending this in. I think this is the last knife of his I have, so I can box everything up and ship them on home. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.